Hello, welcome to another episode of It's 420 Somewhere, the special Sunday edition following the Portland, Maine Kirk Minahan show and the debauchery that was the weekend leading up to the show. I'm Chris from Methuen. We have Pat from Amesbury about to hit a dab, and we have Lauren Lynn, who does not want to share her camera right now because she's seen us all weekend. She doesn't want to see us anymore.
This is true. I'm surprised you guys aren't sick of me yet. So,
well, Keller Kowalski was on the pre-show. High Blind Mike declined to join the pre-show, which was surprising. We were discussing, so we're here to discuss the good, the bad, and the wagon, as I have coined the phrase. So good from the weekend and the show itself, from my perspective, goes kind of as follows. It was good to see a few people that I hadn't seen in a while, like Buddy. It was good to see Mima. It was good to see it was good to see BA for the very first time. It was good to see Chuck, I thought, for the very first time. In the very beginning when we first saw Chuck, that was good. So
it was good to see Chuck for about what time we
3 hours.
I'd give him a little bit more time than that. Your time frame would be a little differently, but the time frame I'll go with is from when we picked him up at, say, approximately 10 a.m. till about, we'll say, 8 o'clock p.m. that night. He was fine. After that, I don't know, Chuck.
Went down with the sun.
Yeah. But so there was a lot of good. We got a good picture from the show.
Yes. Yep. We're making this a tradition. So
Absolutely.
I forced you guys into the corner, and ironically, I guess, made you take your picture.
I was going to say, forced into a corner is kind of an interesting way to say that.
Play on words.
Yeah, it's an interesting play on words, considering we were just talking about Chuck and his fall from grace.
Don't throw that up.
Did you say don't pull that up?
Don't throw that up, Chris. I don't think
she said it's all right.
Oh,
we reviewed the yes.
We do have the How It Started. Wags was a great guy.
Which I guess that tweet has been deleted.
Which one?
The How It Started picture, because that was posted by him.
Oh.
It'll be deleted, but nothing's ever deleted.
Nothing's ever deleted.
Fucking assholes just scored.
So in that moment, Lauren, was there any one phrase you were saying, maybe like,
that wasn't
help me, or anything like that? Were you reaching for Mace?
You should probably look into that next for but I don't know if Wagon's going to be there. I think Wagon's the only guy you would ever have to use that on.
Well, and it's funny because these jokes have always been made, every live show. It's, oh, you need to look out, you need to be careful, you need to watch out. And I always say, no, I've gone to I've gone to almost every show. I've never, ever had a problem. So, but yeah, Mace was probably not a bad suggestion.
Maybe just if that certain person ever comes to a live show again.
I mean, do you think he will?
No, probably not. Because I think when the dust finally clears and the haze lifting, he's gonna probably hopefully come to some sort of realization that he might have a problem.
Yeah, and I was asked this a few times, like, has there been a conversation yet, and etc. And I said, well, no, because I don't think we're dealing with a lot of coherency at this point. So I don't think rational thought process is exactly in the cards right now.
Correct.
But I don't know. I've got a lot of messages. I try not to be too serious about a lot of things, so I'm not even really sure, I guess. But as observers, I guess it seems like we're all on the same page of how we feel about the way things were happening.
Yeah, I think so. It was a mostly fun time. That was
absolutely.
To be fair, that was a fun time that could have been ruined by the factions, and they weren't because, quite frankly, Lauren, you didn't seem to want to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
See, Pat
I
agrees
mean,
wholeheartedly.
yeah, I would like to think I'm pretty good at laughing off a lot of things. I've seen a lot of like, jokes about it on Twitter, and that's fine. And it's kind of a way to make a point without having to be too dramatic about things. So I do think that's kind of a good way to go about it.
Who's naked? Steve Subaru guy was naked.
Ugh,
Oh,
Pat's new best friend.
that's not true at all.
Don't I have that somewhere? I do have it somewhere. Hold on.
I was gonna say you guys there must have been some pictures taken of that because
Oh, there are.
I mean, couldn't look away is how I would describe those moments at the bar.
I actually have. Yeah, this will work better. Second. So the audience knows what we're talking about. If we had to see it, you have to see it.
This is the first time I've seen it from the back, so yes, thank you for
It
making
gets
sure I
worse.
get all the
So-
angles. I would like to know the thought process here, which there probably wasn't much of one, but there was no encouragement for this or as far as I could tell. And this happened, I would say at least 8 times before they finally were like, look,
Yes.
I'm sorry, but you need to leave because you can't
At one
do
point,
this.
he was wearing Chuck's shirt.
That's right. He did. He had Chuck's shirt on at one point, and then friggin' he ended up taking that off. Oh, the Bruins got that
Yeah,
goal
'cause
taken away. What the fuck?
Chuck
Well,
kept taking his shirt off, but he had like the tank top underneath, so at least he had
Yeah,
that.
he had something
Right.
on.
He had his wife beater on, but yeah. And then they came and they were like, "All right, so you need to actually have some clothes on." And I mean, when my son was 2, he could have put a shirt on quicker and more efficiently than that friggin' dumb shit could have. And Chris enjoyed my instant reaction to, "Is this guy with you?" Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Everyone denied him. The bouncer would like come to each of us and be like, "Are you with this guy?" And we're all just like, "Absolutely not. I don't know who that is. Never seen that guy before in my life." So
You had asked about encouragement, and I don't know if this actually encouraged the stripping, but it was encouraging some of the behavior.
It's back.
BA said, I remember BA said something like, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sweaty right now." And I was like, "Well, you've been jumping up and down for 45
Nonstop.
minutes. I've been to spinning class with less, athletic need than the amount of jumping they did on that floor."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was making the ground shake. But BA came as advertised.
BA, absolutely, yes. Yes.
We have no idea why.
This is, yeah, I don't know.
So
I wish I knew why. I wish I knew, because I would have tried to talk him out of
Do
it.
the opposite. Yeah.
I know he was one of the few, the proud, the many to try some of the new formulation low dose gummies that I brought. And I'm not saying that made him take his shirt off, because no one else who tried one took their shirt off, but it's there. You have to put it out. Have to say it.
I normally don't need to take my shirt off after I take edibles.
Me either.
BA is the goat.
Go ahead.
BA was good. Like I said, BA came as advertised. BA goes hard, and he likes to party. We knew that coming in. We knew that with Chuck too, but we just didn't know there was a certain element to Chuck's partying that he might have hid from us. That I'd be very surprised if we dig deeper into the layers of Chuck Wagon, we don't find any type of complaints and or incidences on the record.
Well, and something that I found interesting was, and I'm sure this is okay to say, but like he had a relative with him on
Correct.
Saturday, I believe a female relative,
Correct.
And he would act very offended if anyone said anything off color to her. So maybe we need to follow the lead by example principle here and say, oh, you don't like it when men talk to your relative this way? Maybe you should be careful with the way that you speak to women.
That would make sense. It's weird because
I
I
mean,
think his behavior changed on the Saturday night for that reason.
Memes has a great point. But Memes was so fucking funny when he was he's chatting with her, and then he leans over to me. He goes, "You want me to get Wagon pissed off?" I'm like, "Of course." And he goes, "Hey, Wagon," and Wagon looks over and he does the little right behind her. He got so mad.
But
Right,
Wagon
but
Sister Molly is her name, I think, right? Molly or Holly? Molly? I think it's
Yeah,
Molly.
I'm not sure. I think Molly. Yeah.
She
Memes.
seems like a very normal, nice person.
Yeah, she's very normal compared to that.
well, I think there's an age gap, so I'm assuming they didn't grow up in the same household
Yeah, but no,
setup.
he was her example then. So still,
We don't know how close though. I mean, not saying that we're. I'm saying how close of an example he was.
good point.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hopefully, she was smart enough to say, "Oh, everything this guy is doing, I should probably do the exact opposite of."
These guys were the stars of the weekend, maybe for different reasons and some of the same overlapping reasons, but the stars nonetheless.
Memes, Buddy, and Robbie V were my three guys this weekend.
To talk to, sure, but I'm just saying for entertainment wise, we were all waiting to see what happened after we left them or they left us. But yeah, I had a good amount of time talking to Buddy last night. Buddy's a great guy. We had the Buddy and BA meeting. That's a good one. Buddy always looks stoned, but I think he's sober. No, he was stoned last night.
Yeah, we enjoyed a pre-roll on the ride to the theater because we didn't feel like walking because of the weather.
Rain stuff.
The freezing rain, we didn't feel like walking. At least, I mean, we walked later on, obviously, but that time we did not want to be walking. So we managed to luck out. We got a parking spot like right around, like literally like 50 feet from the entrance.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And another good thing was Sneakers got an opportunity to tangle with weed. He ate
Okay,
one of
I'll
the
tell you
low-dose
guys,
gummies.
I always say don't partake in drugs. I don't really judge most people for what they choose to do. After this weekend, I'm never doing like I am going the sober route because all of this stuff scares the shit out of me. So, I've seen too many things, I think, after this weekend. So,
Well, there's a difference between what Sneaks was doing or did and what Wagon and Chuck were doing.
yes, and I agree with that, and I am aware of that. But I don't know, whatever Sneaks was doing, he was in an interesting place, I would say.
He was having fun.
He was
He was
having
having
fun.
fun.
I've
Yes.
never seen him smile that much, and he was dancing. He was keeping up with BA dancing. BA is a dancing machine.
Yeah,
He
it's
danced
just
the whole night away.
it never stops moving, even if he's not. It's just doesn't
Yeah.
stay in one. Like Chris, you're the exact opposite. You found a spot and you stood there, and you don't like walk around and mingle, and that's perfectly fine. But like BA doesn't stand still; it's just bounce around all over the place. And in hindsight, I'm like, I never even really had a conversation with him, just because
We wouldn't have been able to have a cognizant one anyway.
Yeah, there
always
wasn't too many
moving.
conversations had by the big guy that
No
night.
conversation.
Either night.
No time for that.
I mean, we've all seen some of the videos he's sent before he started doing the spaces. Sometimes we would get, certain videos at that time of the morning, night, whatever you want to call it. And so when he would send those videos, or even when he does the spaces, he has that certain tone in his voice, and
It's a different guy. That's Griff Vegas. That's Griff Vegas on those calls.
Yeah, right. He was Griff Vegas from I guess we'll go with the same demarc point. We'll say 8 p.m. till the rest of the time in Portland. He was Griff Vegas.
Yeah, something changed. Something was added to the mix, so to speak, and Griff Vegas came out. Another thing I always like about these live shows is the people that interact with each other, that you just wait to see what happens. And after watching the Twitter timeline for the past few months, seeing Sneaks interact with Biodude was kind of funny to me. I enjoyed it.
I almost went the whole weekend without seeing him.
Yeah, we had a good run with that. That was the highlight of Friday, probably. The lack of certain people.
The mayhem.
So you did have a special guest with you Friday night, who I didn't see last night, but I guess she was probably there, right, Brie?
Yeah, Bree showed up on Friday. She showed up after Mike's show. She was actually pretty late. I didn't see her at all yesterday, so I don't know if she made it to the show or not. I don't know. I texted her this morning, and we had a little bit of back and forth, like, oh, it was nice to meet you, blah blah blah. But I didn't really get to see much of her other than a few hours Friday night, and that's when it was kind of getting weird. So hopefully that didn't leave a bad taste in her mouth, because that's literally your first,
Yeah,
Minifan experience, so to speak. So
yeah.
Well, hopefully she realizes that it was just a singular person. It wasn't like it was the majority of the crowd. That was-
Right.
Just
Right.
know that if Wagon goes completely dark in a day or two, then the complaint was filed, and it was you might actually get a visit from DCF.
I think we need to FOIA
His record.
Chuck's records. Let's see what he got. Danny from Billerica, another solid guy.
Good guy.
Very
I
good
enjoyed
guy.
watching him give oh wait. Shrubs bounced. I enjoyed seeing Danny give Sneaks a lap dance Saturday afternoon. That was a lot of fun. There was an interaction between BA and Kirk that was hilarious. That Pat saved the day on that. So we're standing outside of, what was that bar called? That was Giddy's, right? Gritty's?
Yep.
So we're standing
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
of Gritty's. Mike's doing Mike and the Minifans. We're not paying attention. There's people in the room, but you can't hear it in any other part of the bar. You have to be right in there. So anyway, we're outside, and Kirk walks by, and BA tries to say hi to him, and he just blows him off, no sells it, starts to walk into the bar. Pat says to him, "You're just going to blow off Barstool Advisor?" And he quickly doubles back. Oh, he says to BA, "Oh, you're Barstool Advisor? You're a physical specimen." BA looks right back at him, doesn't miss a beat, and says, "And you have a great mohawk." And they went back and forth for a couple minutes. It was good. Nice little
That's good, yeah.
interaction.
BA had his moment with him.
He did.
I hope we got a picture too,
No,
because that would probably.
We probably should have asked him if he could take a picture with him real quick.
So I blame myself because I was there. I was supposed to be getting as much footage as possible, and I dropped the ball. I didn't have my camera out. I didn't record that. I should have recorded the whole interaction.
BA also talked to Blind Mike and asked him if he was going to unblock him, and then said, "Come on, man, I was your original comment guy."
Which is true.
Blind Mike has him blocked.
Yeah, I think he said something about Alba's feet or something.
Why
Probably.
did they say that on the show? That should be open territory.
I believe that's Robbie V.
That is the monster that is Robbie V hugging
Robbie V's
Barstool
a
Advisor.
fucking ginormous human being.
Big dude. Yes.
A
dude.
massive fucking dude. Fucking guy.
Look at
He's
BA up on
also,
his
he's
picture.
also as advertised. He's there's no gimmick.
Nope.
With him. He's
Exactly what you see is what you get. Yeah.
In that picture, you see Gig off to the side. You see Chuck's belly. There's Chuck's belly. This is probably why he's pinning people against the wall. He doesn't mean to. The belly's just so big.
Yeah, and he's got that like hover, and some people had said to me like, "Oh, like they were lumping in like BA and Wagon. They're really like they just are touchers, huh? They just touch everybody. And I said, well, BA kind of does that, like, and men do this more than women, but when you
It's like
walk up to someone
shoulder.
and you put your arm around them and you kind of pat, their shoulder when you're talking to them. So there was a lot of that. I wouldn't call that like the same kind of contact that maybe myself or Bree was getting. So I just want to make sure that those things are separated. I think they say it in like kindergarten, there's like good touching and there's bad touching. So
Yeah.
maybe we need to make a chart or something for people
Or we
who
just
don't
go with the
understand.
we can go with the Arrested Development when George Senior was in the prison and just do the no touching. No touching.
Just
Yeah.
don't touch. Bring COVID back, maybe. We need the 6 feet again.
Wagon disappointed me. They say don't meet your heroes, and they were talking about Chuck Wagon.
Oh boy, you had him as a hero.
No, it's a little too much.
Little tongue in
Well,
cheek.
I would also say
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
the things that aren't in that photo are things that were said that also, like, I don't know.
Correct.
I know everyone has a different style on how they choose to speak to women, but I would say being extremely aggressive with your words
Not always the way to
is
go.
a little uncomfortable.
Graphic with certain descriptions.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Oh, but you
And
mean that
you
that doesn't get you that the way he was his style isn't one that you would find preferable?
I enjoyed the quick
It
dab
is.
as well.
Yeah, it's not preferable, and it's I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's hard to know it. Like, I'm probably too nice because I'm not gonna snap my head around and be like, shut the fuck up, even if I
Yeah.
probably should, because you've got someone who's probably not in the right state of mind. I don't know what kind of reaction that will get. So like I always say, I try to laugh it off and be like, oh, all right, thank you for the offer of everything you just offered, but I'm not exactly interested. So, and then you'd see him go straight from me to the next girl, and it's just that's when it becomes really sad to watch. It's just sad. It's sad is what it is.
He's got a lot to answer if he's on the Big Dog Show this week. He's got a lot to answer for. We're kind of setting the scene right now, just so we can get it all out there, and then he's going to have to answer to his crimes on the Big Dog Show.
Yeah, we'll see. I predict some.
Yeah, I had trouble. I was trying to even, I was like, Pat, I want to tell you what he just said to me. And how many attempts did I have to even get the words out? I'm like, I can't say it. I can't.
And you
say
still
this.
danced around it too. I had to use context clues.
Context clues. Here's Wagon with his very reliable cowboy boot wearing drug dealer.
Yeah,
I didn't make up that
Friday
nickname.
was,
Someone else did.
Friday was the time.
He was the party favor provider.
Yeah, and I mean they hyped this night for what, a month. They had been talking about it, and I guess I live in a naive world. I did not know people like stay awake for 2 days. I didn't know that was a thing.
A lot of us, I think.
So
yeah, that type of partying does happen, but a lot of people stop that type of partying when they're like 19, 20. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe
right.
early 20s you still do some stuff like that, but there's a point
I
where you
got
grow
quite
out
a
of
few
it.
DMs kind of about how it all went, and what has happened since, and have you got a air quote apology? And I said, well, we're gonna wait and see what the next few days look like. So no, I haven't really had any communication. I don't know. I'm not sure.
But yeah, so they were acting a fool, but BA had a good time. Like Pat said, he came as advertised. That's what you expected to get with him. Chuck was I don't know. Aside from the issues with women, I found Chuck to be kind of enjoyable to hang around with. He is a lot. You said BA didn't stop moving. Chuck also did not stop moving. He was jumping and up and down just as much as BA. He was super, super, super huggy with even guys on Friday night.
Yes,
He
yes.
hugged me like 6 times, kissed my head a bunch of times, made me feel really macho and big and tall. No, he's leaning over me, kissing the top of my head. I'm like, all right, enough.
Because he's just that big guy who will kind of just come up behind and linger over you. So yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely saw it was happening on the men as well. So probably without the verbiage, but
Yeah, he didn't. There wasn't descriptions about lifting up and doing things to things.
yeah, and squirting and
Yeah.
all kinds of, lovely things. Um Yeah,
I
and
mean, I
like I
guess
said,
that's
I've seen
fine
a
if that's
lot
what
of
you're
tweets
into.
about it, so I'm sure like people are gonna go in pretty hard with that kind of stuff. And that kind of makes it, I don't want to say all in fun because it's not, but it's probably a good way to make sure lessons are learned because I think sometimes they need to be.
It's true. But yeah, the chat seems to, there's certain members of the chat that are saying, making excuses. Oh, he was drunk. He was trying to make you feel special. So I don't know if I agree with all that, but Chuck was Chuck, and now we know what we're dealing with as far as he is concerned. I guess I don't know that. I mean, it's not like he's up for every live show. Anyway, but we'll see. Hopefully, we continue whenever there is another live show. We continue the trend of meeting up with people we don't get to see all the time, and having a good time responsibly for the most part, within reason.
Or
Yeah,
the
I agree with
CPA
that.
wagon I can do without. I can go without seeing Chuck Wagon again. Chuck Wagon from a distance is my preferred method. He's gone into the Tony ranks, where he's someone that he's fun to be around with for a little bit, but after about hour 2, the expiration tag is definitely up.
The bright lights were on the wagon. That's true. He didn't fare well. That's also true.
Yeah, and I guess he hasn't had much of a presence since the dust is now just starting to settle, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
With a great point.
That is a great point, actually. Bill McNeil made. 2 of the same breed.
To be fair, though, with all of Tony's faults, I've never seen him, do something to a woman that I saw Wagon do to 2 different women on Friday night.
Yeah, and look, I mean,
the platform, and if
He's
she
volleying back and
out of
forth
it,
tennis ball, he would do his
well, maybe not.
he would get his shit on one, didn't get what he wanted, go to the other one, go back and forth, and my job was to just say, "Oh yeah, why don't you guys stand over here now?" So, because he was almost like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. If you just don't move, he's not going to see you, and don't make eye contact with him, and he's not going to know you're there.
yeah, once you feel that eye on you, you're like, oh, he's gonna come over and he's gonna say, say things again. So
The account
no,
formerly
for sure.
known as Vodka was asking for those who were late, what did Wagon do? We have a little visual clue. Wagon was very aggressive with some of the few female members of the bar patrolling whatever fucking group we're in. And he started out nice, and then he got kind of really, really aggressive, making people feel uncomfortable.
I don't know if Tony's ever pissed in the sink in the women's room, but time that I've been to his house, he was living with the girlfriend that he was with at the time. He vomited in the bathroom sink and made the girlfriend clean it.
Oh, that is disgusting.
And that's a shoot, and I'm pretty sure McNeil was there, so he can verify that.
But do you think
You know
Tony
what,
has ever
Jay?
purposefully?
I also have anxiety issues, and I know how to behave myself in public. So, what's your point?
It's better to not interact. I know it's hard when I put him on the screen, but it's better for him to
Sorry.
just talk into the void.
I mean,
I remember.
you could say, like, I don't get out a lot. I've never encountered a man who acts like that, ever. So maybe I'm just lucky and I hang around with decent people a lot, but there were plenty of sloppy people this weekend, who weren't holding their alcohol, who weren't, you know, on their best behavior, but no one else was doing that.
I hear you. Pat, do you think Sherman would ever try to squeeze 5 men into a woman's stall, woman's bathroom
No,
stall?
because that wasn't when they were going to the bathroom. I don't think Sherman ever used those gimmicks. Tony perhaps, but
Oh, look who it is. I took it easy this weekend.
yeah, he sure did.
He should jump on the show. I know he's traveling, but he should.
Wagon was having fun.
Well, he did seem to be having fun. He was in rough shape this morning, I can tell you, because I saw him outside the hotel.
He's going to be in rough shape for the next couple of days, probably.
That's a heck of a bender to get over, and he's an older guy.
I'm the same with you. I wanted to say that too, that he's not, I don't think he was using that as an excuse. I think he was just saying that they have anxiety issues. Jay said that you are lucky that he did not smack you last night or this morning, whatever you want to call the time frame.
So what's the...
Yeah, or knock over shit. He fucking knocked over chairs fucking numerous times.
He was a bit of a
Dropped
menace.
at least 20 cups or bottles, probably.
I've never seen someone get thrown out of a place more than Wagon, if you even want to go that far.
I thought the count was at 9.
Well, I only witnessed a handful of them. I didn't witness that many.
I only saw one, so I'm sorry that I missed out on all the others.
What I found funny was you make the mistake, you walk out of the bar with your drink, they reel you back in. 10 minutes later, you do it again, and you think they're not going to throw you out at some point.
It was a bad scene, Vodka. It was a bad scene. We're not joking around with it. He was a fucking scumbag.
Pat's very unhappy.
I came on here and I said, I don't want to be too serious about it. And, I've seen all the, the tweets are funny. And I think that's a good way to, I don't want to say teach someone a lesson, because does it? Who knows? But so not everything is a joke. Not everything's a joke.
Here he is.
Brother.
Oh, shit. Bluetooth. Can you hear it?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We have BA and Post.
What's on? We're about to get back to my place.
So they're in Syracuse.
Why don't you? Can you guys jump on from there, or is it going to be that much longer?
I'm not going to be on here, so.
We're at the egg. We're going to be there in 3 minutes. Oh, I want to go home, brother.
Yeah, he's not going to want to jump into Post House and go on the street.
All right, that's fine. We don't have to stay on long.
He's got another 4 hours left to get home.
We've all spent the weekend with each other. We don't need to spend more time.
I had a good time. I apologize, Warren, if I was rude.
No, I think you were fine.
No, absolutely. I believe that was the first thing I said when we got on here. Like, all encounters were fun, and I hope you had a good time, because it was, the big weekend to go to the show, and I hope you had a great time.
It was fun. I had fun.
You seem to be having a great time. And you're a heck of a dancer, BA.
I know, I got kicked out of that last board just for dancing too hard, I think.
From shaking the floor.
That last place, I didn't deserve to get kicked out. The other The other ones maybe was not that one.
You didn't.
I know you were trying to help dude put his shirt on.
At a theater either, right?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I did spill my old drink there. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Shit happens. Shit happens. BA
I'll give
came
them
as
out.
advertised. BA is not a gimmick. BA is legit. And I would party with BA again.
Yeah, I've never seen a man fall over more in his life than Chuck Wagon, though.
He was definitely out of control. See if I can't catch up with these comments now.
We made it.
BA, can you tell the story of the girl you almost got in a fight with?
What girl?
There was a girl who was being very rude to you, I heard.
What?
She said you had small dick energy and you don't get laid.
Who just said that?
Some broad at that foreplay bar, memes witnessed it.
Oh, no. There's only one line for the bathroom, and they were in it for like 40 minutes, this guy and this girl. And I said, what the fuck are you guys doing? Get out of the bathroom. There's like a lineup of 7-8 people. And she's like, yeah, you're just mad because you don't get laid. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? Yeah, but everyone would say thank you to me after. Like, yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was great. Funny shit.
So that's where small dick energy
And
gets you drinks.
And Jay's a loser. He comes to my hotel room late night, starts drinking all the last drinks that we have, the last drugs that we have, and then he's like, you should have called me Friday because I'm special to you. And I said, get the fuck out of my room right now. What, do you want to fuck me, you fucking loser? Get out of my room. Yeah, and he's like, he has anxiety. I don't have anxiety. I need some weirdo like professing his love to me at fucking 4 in the morning. It was the weirdest thing. He kept saying, oh man, I'm special to you. You should have reached out to me. And I was like, you have to get, and I'd say, you got to get the fuck out of here. And I kicked him out of the room.
Are you disappointed that Fitzy didn't show up?
Or John. Or Fez.
Really something happened. It was nice meeting Lauren. I think we had a good that bar. The second bar that we all ended up to the last night we were dancing and stuff was the best. That was a good place.
We as a group sang Taylor Swift, which I did not see that coming, but that was a great moment of unity, I would almost call it.
Yeah, we were and that's why I said when I got kicked out of that bar, I was like, man, I'm not even drinking. I'm just dancing and singing. I didn't even drink my drink. And then he's like, you know what? I may have made a mistake, but I'm not changing my mind. You're out of here. I was like, all right, man. Brother. Yeah, I was like, what was that?
I just put the picture up with you, Jay, Sneaks, and Stone Minifan.
Jay was all right at the bar and it was so weird late night. He was not a late night guy. What's funny too is whenever Wagon gets kicked out of a place, he always looks so confused. Like he's like, what did I do wrong?
Trying to track down his wallet every time.
I was gonna say, is it me or does he just always lose something? He has to come back for his phone, for his wallet, for his this, for his
I
that.
left his wallet at the bar at Gritty's for like.
He left his wallet.
To get it for him.
He left his wallet. He lost his wallet both nights. Wagon's wild, man.
And then they're outside after they get kicked out, and Wagon's like, "Oh, I guess you can't just do gimmicks in the bathroom." And I was like, "Nope, you can't."
It was a great tweet. Someone tweeted that out. It was great.
That was a great tweet. But yeah, he stood outside like arguing with that doorman for it felt like 30 minutes, and I'm not gonna go outside. It's cold, but we're all watching from inside. Like,
so was that
oh boy,
Yeah.
Oh no, I was arguing. That was me.
I had already left by that point. Let it be known that I'm the boring one. That the Friday night I went home at 10:30. Last night
I wasn't arguing. I I was trying to convince him to let me back in, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
So
I
was
saw
like,
that too. Brother,
They're saying-
I know you're an up and comer, and you're trying to let you back in.
I was just trying to negotiate. Their negotiation.
Yeah, you were trying. I could.
But you're doing it in a kind of fun, non-aggressive way versus other people
Yeah.
who seemed. I was,
Yeah, you weren't
could
trying to
feel
fight
like
him.
it would almost take a turn quickly.
The only time I wanted to fight someone is at the State Theater when the guy ripped off my wristband. I was like, "Oh, are you serious, man?" I was like, I wanted to fight these guys, but I didn't. I just left. I had a full drink, and they're like, "That's your last one." I said, "Well, take this back if I'm so fucked up." I was like, "Would a fucked up guy do that? Give his drink back to you?" Maybe that proved their points. I'll listen back.
Well,
Okay.
that's an interesting. Did you
Yeah,
like
there
the
was a-
show, Be It? We haven't
I
even
know.
talked about the actual show.
Born in the USA was great.
I thought the sing-alongs
I
were
know.
fantastic.
And then I was
Yeah,
kind
Lauren
of
and I talked about this in the pre-show. I don't feel the same way about all the music.
I like to sing Born in the USA sing along was good. And then I was kind of at the bar and then I left because they cut me off. Bastards. But
I thought the opening of the show with the casket and the funeral and the after death experience or whatever was pretty good.
I thought that was weird. When they were talking to the stars and shit. I was beside Wagon's sister and she looked at me, she's like, "What the fuck did I come to watch?" Because she had no idea what it was.
Yeah, she was totally uninitiated.
Yeah. We left early. Yeah, me, Sneaks, Subaru Steve, Wagon. Subaru Steve's a weirdo, dude. That was
Pat's
he
new
would pop
favorite
his shirt
Minifan.
off. He popped his shirt off 4 times in the book. And he doesn't have a nice body either.
No,
You know, he was crazy.
he's so pale, in fact, that even
Very
though it was dark
fluorescent.
in there,
Yeah.
I felt like I needed sunglasses. It got way too white in there, way too fast.
Someone was like, "Do you know this guy?" And someone said, "No, we don't know him." And I went and helped him put his shirt off, and then I get kicked out.
That part sounds familiar. That we don't know him part. Nope. That sounds familiar. I don't know where I heard that.
I should have said we didn't know him either. Maybe I was so because I was good. I would have liked to be there another hour dancing and stuff. Right, post? Okay, I gotta go. I have to go. All right, so you guys, it's gonna be in person.
Bye.
We'll talk again. We'll talk again online.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good night, fellas.
Later.
I met Subaru.
Yeah, so we
Steve
talked a lot
Misako.
about the.
Confirmed Hatchet Killer. Subaru Steve, I've met him a couple of times. Every time I meet him, he's a little weirder. This was the first time that I saw him strip for no reason.
First, second, third, and fourth time I've seen him strip for no reason.
Quite frankly, that's 3 times too many.
It wasn't just a singular moment. It was like he put his fucking shirt back on, and then you look away, and then you look back, and it was off again.
Yeah, that was interesting. So, I mean, Robbie V's gonna have his work cut out for him to reevaluate the weekend of like our dope of the day, and hopefully he can come up with some other good terms and see how people are gonna rank out of this weekend. So we'll see.
Robbie, if you're watching, that's true. You need to come up with the dope of
Wonk of the weekend.
Wonk of the weekend, right?
There should be a bunch of them because
because it can't just because obviously Wagon is the number one, but there's other. Maybe he can be the head wonk, and then you can have some honorable mentions.
yeah, superlatives. We want all the superlatives, Robbie V.
You can have a 1 and 1A wonk. Wonk and
Yeah.
wonk A. But I don't know. I had a fun time overall for the weekend. I always do.
I know it's too bad we've sat here for like 45 minutes talking about some of the, mostly the bad moments, which if you look at the weekend as a whole, it was a ton of fun, very enjoyable. I think Kirk always says it, and it's true. 99.9% of the people there are are good people. So sadly,
Yeah.
sometimes unfortunate encounters overshadow a lot of good ones.
There was this moment. This was a precious moment.
That's early on, and I was hoping to get a picture with BA yesterday because I was a little more dressed up, but that one was good anyway, so I'm glad we got one.
He was still BA at this point. He wasn't Griff Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say I'm going to take a ton of pictures at events, and I never do. So I need to learn and just get my camera out more.
All right.
I have to. Before we go, I have to show this. It's also early Friday. It's pre-Griff Vegas BA.
No video, no sound. We don't have any sound, Chris. No sound, Chris.
All right, I got one more that I want to play. Pardon me. This is going to take me a minute. Coughing my balls off, yeah. All right.
I see rock opera. It's good. It's good meeting rock opera.
All right, let me do this one, and then I'll be happy to move on with the week. Those are nipped, man.
The nipples, yes.
So I have to
That
put
was
that. Those are both
consensual
good.
touching, I believe. Everyone agreed to it before the nipples
Oh,
were
yeah.
touched. So we keep things above board.
So now I'm done with my video. So if we want to go, we can.
Yeah, I gotta punch out. I'm getting heat. I'm getting heat upstairs.
Yeah. So we did the special episode. We missed last night. Obviously, we're all busy, but we still made it up to the fans by giving the recap. We'll thank Lauren for coming on. We'll thank Killer for coming into the pre-show. We thank almost all of the commenters, save one. We thank BA for coming on. And I'm going to go ahead and play the outro and see everybody next Saturday. Watch any. I don't even know what shows are on our channel anymore. I know Stock Talk comes on sometimes.
Then maybe we'll do Rice Bucket this week. Who knows?
Oh, that's breaking news.
Maybe we'll see.
So we'll see about that. Hopefully we get a Rice Bucket. And with that, goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Stars falling down, but that's fine with me. Chaos all around me, but I finally see nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. I said nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. Drop top, yeah, maybe. But my pocket's been looking tight lately. I've been looking for somebody come to save me. It's not my fault that you've been making me go crazy. Nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. I said nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. Nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. I said nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. I'm soaring with the clouds, I'm in my zone. I hear you talking loud, leave me alone. You had it all, you gave it back. You had my heart, girl, that's a fact. You got it wrong, you never asked. I'm getting stoned, what's wrong with that? Nothing's going my just gonna get high. I said
What are those
nothing's
clips
going my
right
way,
now?
I'm just
Chris
gonna
Smith doing.
get
Damn,
high.
Chris Smith doing.
Nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high.
Fucking dumb Canuck.
Finally notice me when they get so hard to breathe. Yeah, hard to breathe, but I smoke. Sky's falling down, but that's fine with me. Chaos all around me, but I finally see nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. I said nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. Drop top, yo, baby. But my pocket's been looking tight lately. I've been looking for somebody come to save me. It's not my fault that you've been making me go crazy. Nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. I said nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. Nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high. I said nothing's going my way, I'm just gonna get high.